Oh, shucky ducky, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a great day today. It is Tuesday, the 3rd of January 2023, and I hope you're all having a great day. I had a decent day, as decent as one can get, because well, oh, hang on. Hey everyone. Back to work! I know, back to work. And we're not even we're barely 3 days into the year and we're back to work. It is what it is. Okay, look. This operation doesn't get funded by any other means aside from me unironically working full time, so back to work! Okay. Anyway, how's everyone going? Hope we're all having a good time. Of course, it's gonna be a Warframe stream, so we're gonna do the usual shenanigans. We'll do our dailies. We'll do our dailies, then we'll do the Archon hunt and everything else in between. I don't think I need to really farm anything in particular at the moment, so this one's gonna be pretty chill. Woo. Now folks, I do want to start off by talking about a couple of things that I was watching yesterday. as well as the day before, I think. Basically, I watched two things in particular. The first was Avatar 2, and then the second thing that I also watched, or rather, the second thing I watched was Avatar 2. The first thing I watched was This Place Rules by Andrew Callahan. In 3D? Yes, in 3D. And I want to talk about both of them because obviously they're completely different things. For those who don't know, This Place Rules by Andrew Callahan, it's a documentary about everything, well, not everything, but a documentary about the kinds of sentiments from a lot of different people that would lead up to the January 6th riots in 2021. And so that was very interesting and rather compelling in that kind of a way. And then there is, of course, Avatar 2, which is obviously like a fantasy film, a fantasy high science fiction film by James Cameron, which I found to be very interesting in a completely different way, obviously. So I want to talk about both of them. How many of us have actually seen This Place Rules? I'm curious. Like, there's apparently 4 of us on YouTube and 1 of us on Twitch. How many of us have actually seen This Place Rules? I want to know. It's a very riveting documentary. It really dives into the psyche of people who really believe, for example, that the election was in fact stolen, and that our God Emperor Trump is in fact the one who would steer America in the right direction. And by the right direction, they're thinking the direction where their nation is no longer run by pedophiles or demonic vampires that suck the blood out of children. Because some of the things that... Whoa. Okay. Some of the things that a lot of people in America believed was that Hillary, for example, was a demonic pedophile. Joe Biden is a demonic pedophile, which is probably true at this point, and that Hunter Biden, being Joe Biden's son, is 100% like a demonic pedophile, weed smoker, and crack whore who is actually secretly running the government, despite the fact that he has absolutely nothing to do with the government. You know, it's that kind of thing, you know? So... Hey, Savage, how's it going? We're talking about This Place Rules by Andrew Callahan. It's a very interesting documentary, and really, like, I like the way that, like, I think I've said this before. I like the way that Andrew does his interviewing. I said no stream because PB. As if anyone listens to you, Savage. So that's like what's going on there. He basically just gives people the mic, and they just go head. And they just go ham, and they just talk about whatever they want to talk about, and the things that they want to talk about are usually psychotic. But that's part of the charm. It's like, what's on your mind? What's on your mind at the present moment? And what's on the mind of a lot of people in America is... I've tested Vonana and she sucks, so I'm going to helmet her. Mecha Ember, on the other hand. Mecha Ember? Oh, okay. You don't like Vonana? I think Vonana's fine. Not amazing, but fine. Anyway. It's that kind of thing where it's just like you listen to these people talk, and they seem to be very, very sure about what's going on in their mind. So, you know, fair enough. But at the same time, I mean, what? You really think they're all demonic pedophile vampires? I mean, demonic, yes. Pedophiles? Gonna need some evidence on that one, mate. Vampires? I would think that Joe Biden is also a demonic pedophile vampire, except apparently he's initiated some sort of a plan. He's initiated some sort of a policy that has actually kicked in at the start of the year, apparently in America, where all major corporations have to now pay 15% tax minimum. So we'll see what happens with that. I think that sounds like a good idea. In my opinion, that sounds like a great idea, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, eh? I'm kind of surprised he managed to get that through, despite the fact that the business lobby is basically always pulling the strings in America. But for some reason he was able to get that through. I don't know how he managed to pull that off. Really. So yeah, like, when I woke up and I read that on Twitter, I was like, huh. He pulled it off. Color me shook. Color me slightly shook. So that happened. But yeah, if you're looking for something to watch, just randomly, I highly recommend Andrew's documentary on the thoughts and the general sentiment of a lot of US citizens, which were of course stoked, and they were like stoked and sort of pushed by a lot of commentators, in particular right-wing commentators. You know, your Ben Shapiro's, your Matt Walsh's, your Stephen Crowder's, you know, those kinds of people who of course push the narrative, and your Tucker Carlson's, of course, who will just be asking the question of why is it that we are allowing our nation to be run by demonic pedophile vampires? Why is that? Why is that? And why is it that when people like Alex Jones point out the truth that our nation is being run by demonic pedophile vampires, that he's being shut down by our social medias? What is it that they're trying to hide? And should we as the people not be allowed to ask those questions? That's always the cadence with which someone like Tucker Carlson hides his lies and propaganda on his show. It's not really as simple as this is what's going on and this is how you should feel. It's more like, why is it that when we say these things that are totally happening, that we believe are true, and we get told that they are not in fact true, and then we keep saying them, and then they decide to just shut us down because we keep saying them despite the fact that we have absolutely no evidence whatsoever? Why is that? Is it because that they're actually true and the government actually just doesn't want us to say that? Basically using the idea that they are getting shut down and that they have been refuted as evidence that in fact it may very well be true. It's that kind of weird reverse logic where, oh, you say it's not true, but the fact that you had to deny it is making it feel a little bit suspicious. It's the same logic as, it's the same kind of process as, like, for example, if someone were to walk up to you and say, why did you hit your... basically, like, it's the same idea as, like, walking up to someone and saying, why did you hit your wife? And then you will very, very rightly, probably, hopefully, say, I never hit my wife. And then he'll turn around, and then the person who asked you that will turn around and say, why is it that you said you never hit your wife when you were asked why you hit your wife? What are you trying to hide? Is it that you actually hit your wife, or you're trying to deny that? Why is it that you said that you do not hit your wife? Why is that? These are the questions that need to be asked. What are you trying to ask me, sir? I'm trying to ask you, Sandwich, why you hit your wife. And the fact that you are asking me why I asked you why you hit your wife is actually making me very suspicious. That's how Tucker Carlson basically does his entire program. This reminds me of the Uvalde thing when they said they never shot the children, but no one asked. Yeah, what? I don't remember that question ever being asked. But it's that kind of thing where it's like, Whereas, like, you will peddle a conspiracy theory, briefly, and then someone says, no, that didn't happen. What are you talking about? That didn't happen. And then the next day, you quite literally say, so we floated the idea. Let's take Sandy Hook, for example. So we floated... No, fuck it. I'm not going to take Sandy Hook, for example. You can say something like this. So we floated this idea last night that there is a chance that the person who is who allegedly shot up the primary school actually didn't shoot anything, and that it was the teachers that may have shot the kids. But then the police came out and very vehemently said that no, the police were not the ones that shot the kids, and that it was the person that they are alleging shot the kids. Why is that? Why are the police very aggressively trying to tell us that? Why are the police trying to tell us what happened when we already have proof that we cannot trust the police? Why is it? Why is it that we cannot go and do our own research to figure it out for ourselves? That perhaps some of the students were in fact shot by some of the teachers. Why is it that they can't tell us? Why is it that they can't tell us? And why is it they're not letting us investigate this particular angle further? You know, it's that kind of thing where you're basically pushing, where like you're trying to push like a specific narrative, or you're trying to push some sort of a absurd, crazy ass conspiracy theory. And when people say, no, of course that didn't happen, you use the idea that they didn't, that they're denying your conspiracy theory as further proof that there is in fact a conspiracy and your conspiracy theory may in fact be true. It's that kind of thing. So yeah, like, you could see in that documentary a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, Andrew ended up visiting this family, the Spencer family, who, for all intents and purposes, can be known as the Q family. They're basically a family that is chock-a-block full to the brim with QAnon people. Mom and dad and the kids are all like totally into QAnon, and I get it. Look, I get it. QAnon, like, as like this thing, it's kind of awesome. You know, the idea that like the entire country is being run by like a cabal, a dangerous cabal, a dangerous shadowy cabal, right? And that like and yet somehow there is actually someone within that shadowy organization who is running the entire country, by the way, from the shadows. A Lucian Hive, yeah, exactly, a Lucian Hive, a cabal, you know, a group of fallen, an entire clan of an entire house of fallen in the shadows, right? But somehow there is like someone on the inside who is feeding the public some information from the inside, and his name is Q, right? And so we're all waiting to see what Q can do in order to dismantle at a few tormentors. Yes, exactly. So we're all waiting to see what other information Q can provide us in order to give us an idea of the kinds of dangerous things that in fact have been happening in the world. I mean, like, look, in terms of like something to believe, I'm not gonna lie, it's not really the worst thing to believe. I don't think it's the most ridiculous thing to believe. I like that idea, honestly. This idea that, like, because, like, for starters, some of it sort of kind of is true. There does appear to be some sort of an there is probably some sort of shadowy organization that is, you know, sort of secretly running the entire planet. I mean, that's not entirely out of the realm of reasoning. It's called the Rich. It's called the businessmen who can unironically, what's the word? It's called the businessmen who unironically lobby governments and affect legislation. It is real. They're real. We have plenty of evidence and examples of that. What QAnon does is like, oh yeah, we're going to take this idea of the shadowy cabal and we're going to tie it specifically to the fact that there are people who think that Black Lives Matter. And that Black Lives Matter is apparently an organization that is tied to the shadowy cabal that is trying to get us to think a certain way. You know, that black people should be respected. And so, and all that jazz is like, somehow QAnon suggests like, oh yeah, we've got this entire shadowy cabal made up entirely of like Democrats. You know, the same political party that does fucking nothing for the most part in America, and yet they're somehow the ones who are like, you know, controlling everyone's lives. They're trying to make everyone think the same way, and by the same way they mean like initiating things like CRT! CRT! What do you mean you're gonna teach my children that slavery is a bad thing and that we fought an entire civil war so that we didn't have any more slaves? Nah, man. That's just you trying to teach my kids that slavery is a bad thing and that black people should be respected. I don't want you teaching CRT! You know, that kind of shit. Is essentially what a QAnon person says. Actually, that's not what CRT is. That's the point. That's the point. It's like the kinds of people who would eventually, some of them would eventually, you know, storm the Capitol. Right? It's like, at some point, some of these people are going to storm the fucking Capitol. And what do they believe in? They believe in things like how, you know, the shadowy cabal, the shadowy organization has unironically stolen the election from them. An election, thanks to things like mail-in ballots and all that shit, right? Basically, I thought it was very interesting to see, to really dive deep into it. But it's with all CRT itself is pretty nonsense IMO, but it's not taught at elementary. But that's with all theories; it can be untrue. That's why it's a theory and not a fact. CRT. Hang on, let me have a look. Like, I think the general consensus of CRT is that like, black people in America, for example, are still living under some particularly, are still living with a general disadvantage that has come from generational disadvantage. For example, because of how they were treated through the 1900s, how they were treated due to slavery, how they were treated due to Jim Crow laws, and all sorts of crazy ass shit like that, right? Like, I think it does make sense. Like, I'm sure there's some of it that's probably a little bit out of whack, right? I'm sure there's some of it that's a little bit out of whack, but there is that one person. Okay, yeah, let's talk about CRT. Fuck it. There's that one person I think who really explained. I think she's explaining at least one of the points of CRT really well in a way that I think really resonates. Let me see if I can find it. Black lady explains racism using Monopoly. Oh yeah, this chick. Okay. Yep, so this is this person. I found this particular person's explanation on why black people may still very well be living under some sort of an oppressive system, and why therefore they do the things that they need to do in order to get their point across and all that jazz, or like whether or not it even matters. Like, I found her quite convincing. So I've been seeing a lot of things talking about people making commentary. Interestingly enough, counter-racing terrorists. True. The commentary are wealthy black people making a commentary about we should not be rioting, we should not be looting, we should not be tearing up our own communities. And then there's been an argument of the other side of we should be hitting them in the pocket. We should be focusing on the blackout days where we don't spend money. But, you know. So, yeah, like, to start off with, like, ideally, it would be preferable. How is that hair not heavy? You kind of get used to it. Like, keep in mind that, like, when you have hair as long as myself or, like, other people, you kind of get used to it, number one, and then also when you tie it up, it's not adding extra weight, okay? Number one. So, number two, rather. So, you know, the main thing is, like, with regards to having that much hair, you just get used to it, okay? And also neck muscles, okay? Now, coming back to the main point, right? Like, obviously, the ideal would be we live in a society where everyone is treated respectfully and fairly, and that we don't have, like, clear-cut divides economically, socially, between different races and all that jazz, and so therefore people don't have to riot in order to get their point across, because when you are breaking down the buildings of businesses, I think there is inherently something wrong there when there are businesses being set on fire, for example, right? But then you gotta look at it from the other perspective as well, and this is what I think she's about to explain.
So I feel like we should do both, and I feel like I support both, and I'll tell you why I support both. I support both because when you have a civil unrest like this, there are three types of people in the streets. There are the protesters, there are the rioters, and there are the looters. The protesters are there because they actually care about what is happening in the community. They want to raise their voices, and they are there strictly to protest.
Right, yeah, the protesters are the ones who are holding up the signs, who are actually, like, walking down the street in some sort of organized fashion. You know, yeah, they're usually pretty cool. If there are protesters for anything, even things that I don't really believe in at all. I remember there was a protest on the freaking vaccine and the mask mandates here in New South Wales before I went to Queensland, and you know, like, hey, I think they're all completely incorrect, but whatever, you know, they're just protesting, they're going down the street, they're making their way up into the park to then have a few people make some big speeches. Okay, you know, it is what it is, let them be, you know, just try not to get COVID, but, like, you know, it is what it is. And I took some photos of them, and I have them somewhere, but anyway. So that happened, but, like, protesters are cool.
Who are angry, who are anarchists, who really just want to shit up, and that's what they're gonna do regardless. And then you have the loot.
Like, rioters are sort of starting to push it a little bit, because, like, a lot of rioters probably are also, like, the folks who would be in the front lines, and they're ready to, like, really bash some heads. And that's also something that really gets highlighted in Andrew's documentary, is that when shit was popping off on between each side, leading up to January 6th, when there were, like, a lot of other protests that happened, like, before the election. Oh my god, it really is storming. When there were a lot of protests happening before the elections, and then, like, and people were having, like, white lives rallies, Charlottesville, for example, and then we also had Black Lives rallies, and, you know, they all kind of ended up in the same area. Naturally, they would clash and have some sort of violence going on. So you had the rioters who were ready to, like, really beat some heads. They were probably wearing, like, gear of some description and had shields and shit. Like, yeah, that was some crazy ass stuff, right? The rioters, I mean, in an ideal situation, you wouldn't need to be rioting like that, but the reality is that that kind of shit is, I think, necessary.
And the looters almost exclusively are just there to do that, to loot. Now, people are like, well, what did you gain? Well, what did you get?
Yeah, I feel like the looters are, like, taking advantage of the situation for the most part. So prior to me watching this video, like, a while ago, right? This is in 2020, by the way. Prior to me watching this video, I always thought that, like, I think the looters are wholly unjustified. It doesn't really, I couldn't really understand, like, in what scenario would it be fine, would it be at least, like, fine, not awesome, but fine that the looters are doing what they're doing. And I think, let's just keep watching this then.
From looting, I think that as long as we're focusing on the what, we're not focusing on the why, and that's my issue with that. As long as we're focusing on what they're doing, we're not focusing on why they're doing. And some people are like, well, those aren't people who are legitimately angry about what's...
Before I continue, I might as well turn this into a just chatting stream for now, because it's definitely not going to be a fucking Warframe stream for the next 20 minutes.
happening. Those are people who just want to get stuff. Okay, well then, let's go with that. Let's say that's what it is. Let's ask ourselves why in this country in 2020, the financial gap between poor blacks and the rest of the world is at such a distance that people feel like their only hope and only opportunity to get some of the things that we flaunt and flash in front of them all the time is to walk through a broken glass window and get it. That they are so hopeless that getting that necklace, getting that TV, getting that change, getting that bed, getting that phone, whatever it is,
getting that bag. Not getting that bag, by the way, getting that bag.
Is that they're gonna get is that in that moment when the riots happen and if they present an opportunity of looting, that's their only opportunity to get it.
Like, that's basically what changed my mind. It's like, okay, why is it that a lot of people during the riots, during the protests that may turn into riots, that turn into situations where shit's getting burned down, whatever, why is it that there are a lot of people who just have to do that? Because normal people don't do that. People who are affluent enough, they don't do that. People who are in well-off situations, I think, I could be wrong, but I think people in well-off situations don't see a broken glass, or they don't see a broken door into a supermarket, or like into an appliance store, and think, oh, okay, yeah, I work full-time, I make enough money, I'm living pretty well, but I'm just gonna go and grab a TV right now, because you're committing a crime, right? You're stealing. So most people look at that and think, well, do I really want to commit a crime to grab a TV when I could probably afford a TV if I just save up a bit of money? Probably not, you know? Ain't gonna risk it. But then you have a lot of people who will look at that and be like, fuck it. I have, like, next to nothing. My financial situation is so incredibly scuffed that I look at that broken glass and I see the opportunity to just go and grab a TV right now. I'm gonna get it. And so the question is not, oh my god, why? Oh my god, they're grabbing TVs. What's up with that? It should be more like, why are you in such a position where the only way you can get something nice, because we all should be able to get something nice. In the ideal world, everyone can get something nice from themselves every so often, or all the time, preferably. But like, you know. Why is it that the only time you can actually get something nice for yourself is when shit's popping off and the store is getting broken into? You know? Like, at what point, like, what, and also, why is it, like, a lot of those people in the community, I will always disagree with this, because it undermines all the earnest, hard-working people who have to slave against corporate regardless of race. There are poor people of all races as the majority of society. Right. The thing is, this is like I wonder if this is a thing that is very much heightened in America, right? Because you live in the Netherlands, I live in Australia. We don't have, well, we haven't had a riot in quite some time. We had the Cronulla riots. Off the top of my head, I cannot think of one that's happened in the past 10 years. Yeah? I haven't heard of any riots that have happened in the Netherlands, you know? So I do agree with what you're saying. Like, what you're saying does make sense. But I think the problem with us two, is that we're looking at it without the context of it's America. It's America, where studies, I want to say studies have come out. I could be bullshitting. I'm sorry. I think there's enough studies that have come out that have looked at the general fuck it. You know what? Let's have a look. Wealth distribution between race in America. Okay, what's this? The Federal Reserve. Okay, what's this? This is from October 2020. This is from October 22nd last year. In the United States, the average Black, Hispanic, or Latino households earn about half as much as the average white household. This is in 2021, and own only about 15 to 20% as much net wealth. As we see in Figure 1, the wealth gap has widened notably over the past few decades. At the same time, overall wealth inequality has grown. Right? Okay, feel free to read through the whole thing if you want, but like, I'm just gonna read a few bits and pieces, yeah? In order to quantify how far our world is from racial equality and how this wedge has evolved in recent history, we need to first define what racial equality is. In this note, we adopt a specific racial okay, this is kind of confusing me now. Okay, whatever. If you want to read through the whole thing, feel free. I'll put the link here. I'll put the link in chat. Feel free to read through that whole... Oh my god. How about not that much? How about... Fuck it. Time out somebody else is still a thing. It's always been a thing. Point is, it seems like people of color, aside from Asians, earn a lot less than white people. On average. On average. Redo the study with median, not average. I get the feeling you're gonna end up with the same. But like, even then, I don't think that's necessarily relevant. Like, I don't think it necessarily matters if you're going average or median, because average really undermines poor white people. No, yeah, I get that, but like the point, I guess because the point is, and that creates more hate. Yeah, I get that, but I think what's going to end up happening is that the median white person is probably going to be earning more. The real enemy is a small percentage of rich people. Oh no, I agree. Oh yeah, no, I agree. But like, we're not talking necessarily about that. We're now talking about why, when there are a lot more, seemingly, when there are a lot of poorer black people, poorer Hispanic people, Latino people. Why is that? How did that happen? You know? Yes, there are poor white people. 100%. Yeah, there are poor white people. But when you look at the context of America, and this I think is exactly the premise of CRT. The problem is everything's balanced as all things should be. Is it real? Well, exactly. Anyway, when you look at like the context of America, you start off with the fact that, you know, in American history, white people own slaves. Hey, Mr. Tectone. Mr. Tectone? Excuse me? Anyway, you know, you look in the context of America, white people own slaves. And those slaves were almost primarily, if not exclusively, black people from Africa. So that happened. And then eventually slavery stopped being a thing for the most part. They fought a war to make that not happen. And then what happened? Jim Crow laws happened. Redlining happened. Policies that literally fucked over black people. In America. So Americans... So African Americans weren't able to get the kinds of things that white Americans were able to get. Even all the way down to the idea that for a time in America, let's not forget, there were black drinking fountains and white drinking fountains for black people and white people. That was a thing. In America. We learned about that in history class in Australia. We know this is a thing. It's a thing. Okay? So like, you have this you have this entire history of we learn facts. Yeah, most of us common folk start with 0, 2. Yeah, but when your opportunities to get further are seemingly diminished compared to others, that's a problem. There is a problem there. When you have a lot of white, like, I think I've heard a lot of like Americans talk about this actually. When you have like communities that are white communities, and they have schools, and they pay a lot of, what is it, homeowners tax or something like that? I don't know. They pay some taxes for owning a home, and those taxes go towards funding their schools. And when you have a lot of people you have a lot of richer white people who own homes, then their schools get better. Obviously, there's a difference between rich people and poor people, but you also have to look at like how there's quite a lot of black communities that are not as rich. You know, like, anyway, let's keep listening. I feel like this person explains this a lot better than I will.
To be questioning that why are people that poor? Why are people that broke? Why are people that food insecure, that clothing insecure, that they feel like they're only shot?
I'm not part of any community anyway.
Shot by what?
I feel like I'm not really part of any community either. Like, I may be Asian, but I don't really partake in a whole lot of Asian shit. I'm Australian. That's about the only community I really feel like I'm 100% part of. And then, of course, you know, I'm part of the Warframe community. I'm sort of tangentially part of the Genshin community and all that jazz. It's a little bit different. You're part of the Kategari community. Our ever so slowly growing Kategari community. But yes, you are part of our community. That's true. But hey, at least the sun never sets on the Kategari community, because we have myself in Australia. We have some folks in America. We have you, Shin, in the friggin' Netherlands, which means we basically cover the three big, we basically cover the 3 big zones, the 3 big, continents. So boom, there it is. All we need is a couple of Africans, and we've covered the other ones, and some South Americans as well. That'd be great.
Through a broken glass window to get what they need. And then people want to talk about, well, there's plenty of people who pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and got it on their own. Why can't they do that? Let me explain to you something about economics in America. And I'm so glad that as a child I got an opportunity to spend time at Push, where they taught me this, is that we must never forget that economics was the reason that black people were brought to this country. We came to do
in the form of slavery
in the South and the textile work in the North. Do you understand that? That's what we came to do. We came to do the agricultural work in the South and the textile work.
Oh, and also like the low-paying jobs.
If I right now decided that I wanted to play Monopoly with you, and for 400 rounds of playing Monopoly, I didn't allow you to have any money, I didn't allow you to have anything on the board, I didn't allow for you to have anything. And then we played another 50 rounds of Monopoly, and everything that you gained and you earned while you were playing that round of Monopoly,
I'm watching a low resolution.
Taking
I'll put the link here. I'll put the link in the description. Not description. I'll put the link in the chat. This is I just find this to be a very, very interesting video. A very powerful way, a very convincing way, at least to me, of explaining why it is worth looking at the historical context of America and what could very well be the difference between a lot of white people and a lot of black people, and why a lot of black people in America may still be economically completely scuffed compared to a similar amount of white people in America. This doesn't necessarily mean that, like, oh, if you're rich, if you're poor and you're white, whoop-de-fucking do. That's obvious. That's not the point. The point is that in the grand scheme of things, in the big picture, why a lot of black people are still economically screwed over is potentially because of something like this.
you. That was Tulsa. That was Rosewood. Those are places where we built black economic wealth, where we were self-sufficient, where we owned our stores, where we owned our property, and they burned them to the ground. So that's 450 years. So for 400 rounds of Monopoly, you don't get to play at all. Not only do you not get to
How long
play,
is this?
You have to.
It's a
play
6 minute, 46 minute. It's a 6 minute, 46 second video.
You have to play.
But like, if you really don't want to like watch through the whole thing for some reason, fair enough. Around the 2-ish, 3-minute mark is when she starts talking about Monopoly. I think when she starts the 3-minute mark, when she starts talking about this in the form of Monopoly, because it's like a lot of these really high level, a lot of these like sort of complex ideas that you could actually spend a lot of time studying for like an economics degree, for example. That like they can be very difficult to understand, but when you like boil it down to something as simple as Monopoly, where everyone kind of understands how Monopoly works, and then you basically put it through that context, I put it through that framework, I think it makes it a lot easier to understand. The you and the me in this story is pointing at people who are not standing in front of you now. Someone else played that game of Monopoly. That is true. Except they played that game, but like the people who played the game of Monopoly for 400 rounds are the ancestors of a lot of white people in America. The people who were not able to play that game of Monopoly for 400 rounds are the ancestors of a lot of black people in America. So for 400 rounds, you had a lot of white families that were actively moving around the board. And they were able to pass go and collect their $200. Right? Giant... Huh? But they have to understand that a giant majority are not descendants of the rich. That is... Yeah, but the idea... Yeah. It's a specific group. Yeah, but still, like, the fact that a lot of the white people... A lot of the white people who were playing on the board, even if they weren't doing as well on the board as some of the other white people who were doing really well on the board, they're still doing far better than the black people who weren't able to play on the board for 400 rounds. Does that make sense? You are right. There are some people who were able to do really, really well in Monopoly for 400 rounds. And then there are, of course, going to be some people who, even though they were playing Monopoly for 400 rounds, they ain't doing shit. That is true. But I think I think it's pretty easy to see that even just being able to play for 400 rounds is a lot better than not being able to do anything, not being able to do anything at all. And then comes that part as well, right before we paused, where she's also talking about how there was 50 rounds where the black people were allowed to start playing on the board. And as you play Monopoly, you start making a bit of money. Staying in jail is a good in-game strat. Fair enough. Okay, we're going to put the staying in jail thing to the side. We're going to put the staying in jail thing to the side. Okay, but like... But then you look at the idea, like, the black people were playing Monopoly now for another 50 rounds. But then you had, what is it called? The Tulsa Race... Oh, there we go. Tulsa Race Massacre. So, in 1921, there was a thing called the Tulsa Race Massacre, also known as the Tulsa Race Riot. I'm reading off Wikipedia here, okay, guys? Tulsa Race Massacre, also known as the Tulsa Race Riot, or the Black Wall Street Massacre, was a 2-day-long massacre that took place in May 31st and June 1st, 1921, where mobs of white residents, some of whom had been appointed as deputies and armed by city officials, attacked black residents and destroyed the homes and businesses of the Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The event is considered one of the single worst incidents of racial violence in American history, and has been described as one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in the history of the United States. The attackers, who were, by the way, mobs of white residents, some of which were deputized and armed by city officials, by the way, burned and destroyed more than 35 square blocks of the neighborhood, at the time one of the wealthiest black communities in the United States, known as Black Wall Street. Okay? So, shit like that happened. Right? So when you look back at the history of America, not only do you have 400 rounds of white people being able to play the game, whilst the black people were just sitting there twiddling their thumbs because they weren't able to play the game, but then in the time immediately afterwards, for like 50 rounds, where they were able to start playing the game, as soon as they built something, the white people just flipped the board. And they're like, fuck you, you don't get that shit. Oh, that's cool that you just built an entire row of hotels. We're now going to come in and just wipe out those hotels. It's it, they're gone. They're just gone. They're just gone. Your title deed, we're just gonna rip them up. It's gone. It's over. No title deed for you. We just go in and bang, you know? Still cannot point to everyone from that race. We're not. No. Shin. You're. I think you're kind of missing the point here. The point is not all white people bad. The point is not even white people bad. The point is, why are a lot of black people, most of the black people in America, still in an economically worse off position? This is not white people bad, blah blah blah. This is not necessarily black people good either. This is just, why is it that when we look, when studies after studies come out, when reports from the federal, from the freaking federal, what is it, the Fed, which is like the Federal Reserve. Why is it that when studies from, hey, Brady Race, how's it going? Why is it that when studies from the Federal Reserve come out, saying, oh, yeah, people of color, on average, are doing half as well as white people in America on average? Why does that happen? Why is that a thing, you know? The ideal should be everyone's doing on average about the same as each other. Some people are still fucked, and some people are just running off like bandits. But then we can figure out, like, okay, what are we gonna do about everyone who's running off like bandits? Whether they're white, black, Chinese, Latino, whatever. You know? But right now in America, time and time again, the reports come out that say, yeah, no, black people, Latino people, Hispanic people, they're doing way worse than white people. My boss gave me about 600 more in my check and said Happy New Year. Wow, lucky you. I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. I just started work. Ah, fuck. So we're not talking about white people are bad. We're talking about something that's called systemic inequality. I'm not misunderstanding it. Okay, I think I'm misunderstanding what you're saying then. Because to me, it's just the people. It's just, why is the end game is about privilege, but most people don't have privilege, right? But we haven't reached but America hasn't reached the end game yet. You can't really talk about general privilege when it seems pretty clear that one race is doing very much better on average than like a lot of other races. It's a small group. It's on average though. And even if it's I feel like we're going parallel right now. So you guys get a towel? No, we haven't even done the thing yet. I've just been talking about what I've been watching. Or by the way, the general context of why I'm bringing up this right now is because I was watching Andrew Callahan's documentary about like what everyone was thinking about the feelings and the thoughts about that people were having in the lead up to the January 6th riots in 2021, right? And part of it was talking about how some people think that the general ideas of like I think the country is going to be run by pedophile demonic vampires who are going to teach our kids CRT. And then of course we started to talk about what CRT is, and I just figured, okay, this is probably if I was to describe CRT, I would describe it with this video.
And make money and earn wealth for them, and then you have to turn it over to them. So then for 50 years, you finally get a little bit and you're allowed to play. And every time that they don't like the way that you're playing, or that you're catching up, or that you're doing something to be self-sufficient, they burn your game. They burn your card.
Or they just flip the table.
They burn your Monopoly money. And then finally at the release and the onset of that, they allow you to play. They say, oh.
Yeah, they definitely being the wealthy. Yeah, no, they definitely being the wealthy, not necessarily just all white people. They definitely being the wealthy. But it's also the system, because remember, Tulsa Race Massacre being an example. It was city officials who deputized mobs of white people to destroy the homes and businesses of a district in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So it's not necessarily just people, it's the system, the authority, who unironically looked in that and said, yeah, nah, fuck it. Of all race. Yeah, no, most people are disgusted. Well, hopefully most people are disgusted about the Tulsa Race Massacre. But when you look at the crowd, when you look at those who watch Tucker Carlson, they probably love the fact that the Tulsa Race Massacre happened. Because why shouldn't we defend our people? Why should we not fight back against our own white people replacement? Which is probably something that Tucker Carlson, surely he said something along those lines at some point, because he's very much into the whole like white replacement theory bullshit.
Okay, now you catch up. Now at this point, the only way you're going to catch up in the game is if the person shares the wealth, correct? But what if every time you share the wealth, then there's psychological warfare against you to say, oh, you're an equal opportunity hire. So if I played 400 rounds of Monopoly with...
Like, that point really resonated with me. I never really thought about it like this. It's like, I always thought that when people were saying like, oh yeah, cool, we're going to do some equal opportunity hiring, I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. You got to go hire some black people. You're gonna go hire some Latino people. You're gonna hire some people of other races. Okay, that sounds good. But then when you look at it from their point of view, it's like, oh, you're only hiring them because they're black, and that you feel like, oh no, it's not because of their merits that you're going to hire them. It's just because they're black. It's just because they're Latino. It's just because they're a woman. It's like, feels a little bit like reverse racism, reverse sexism at that point. Not racism against white people, not sexism against men. It's more like, oh, you're an equal opportunity hire. As in, we probably wouldn't have chosen you if it were for the fact that you were an equal opportunity hire. So, you know. Ugh. It's like that kind of thing. I never thought about it that way, so that's what... Affirmative action is crap, not gonna lie. Yeah! Yeah. Like, I understood the idea of it before, when a lot of black people weren't allowed into universities, for example. But, like... Ugh. I don't know. I guess we're all just... I think we're just very cynical about it now. For good reason, but like, oh, God. If only America was a nation where white people, where white kids, black kids, Latino kids, Asian kids, they were all afforded the same opportunity to get really, really good education. The same level of really, really good education. Oh yeah, no, I'd probably be pissed as well, Shin. I'd probably be pissed as well, and that's exactly what she's talking about. I'd probably be pissed as well. Because because like she said, it's a psychological game. It's like, oh, yeah, we'll hire you so that you can, you know, you can Asian up the place. We don't have enough Asians, so we're gonna hire you instead of that other guy. I'm like, no, you hire me because I'm good for the job. Schmuck. You hire me because I'm good for the job. You don't not hire me because I'm Asian. But you also don't just hire me because I'm Asian. You hire me because I'm good for the job. Because that's exactly what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to make myself good for the job. Whether that be going to school, going to school, going to school, working somewhere else, working here now. You hire me because I'm good for the job. That's what's going on. But when there apparently are businesses who are like, oh yeah, no, we'll hire the black person because we don't have any black people in the office, so we need a black person. What the fuck? Affirmative action is, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just an American thing. Because I've never heard of affirmative action being a thing in Australia. I don't think I've heard of affirmative action anywhere in Europe. Yeah, straight up racism. Yeah, it really is straight up racism. And it's not even like necessarily racism against white people. It's, well, okay, yeah, no, from the white people's perspective, yeah, it's racism against white people, number one. But number two, it's fucking racist. It's fucking racism against the people of the race as well. Like, fuck. If you ever have to ask for race in a, I don't even, hang on, is it even, I think it's illegal in Australia. Is it illegal to ask for race in a resume Australia? I think that shit's straight up illegal. Here we go. This is from news.com.au, so you know it's fucking real. Because that's Rupert Murdoch's news.com.au. Under Australian law, it is forbidden for a potential employer to ask a candidate about information that can be used to discriminate against them. That includes age, race, marital status, religion, disability, or political affiliation. Yeah. And like I've said, unless I specifically don't like something about Australia, I tend to feel like we're doing the right thing. Disability is kind of important. By disability, they mean like mental disabilities and shit like that. If you're blind and deaf, you probably wouldn't be applying for those kinds of jobs. And when you get to the job interview, they can probably figure it out. And even then, like a lot of jobs, you can probably figure out a way to sort that shit out. Now, obviously, you know, some of the extreme cases, for example, a blind person showing up to work in a construction site. Yeah, okay, fine. You know, fine. But like a blind person working as a cashier, I'm sure you can figure out something like that. A deaf person working at a cashier could probably figure out something for that. I don't know. Also, like, keep in mind, we have things. It's 2023. I'm pretty sure we have things to help with that kind of stuff. I don't really know. Like, it's that kind of thing where it's just like, okay, we're gonna have to, like, the company's gonna have to be like, okay, if a blind person shows up and they want to work, fuck it, not even a low-end job, a high-end job. We have a blind person who wants to work as an accountant. Great. I'm sure they could find a way to fit that in. They just need to figure out a way how they're gonna fit that in. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I can't come up with a solution in like 3 seconds. In a similar fashion, oh, okay, a deaf person showed up and they want to work as an accountant. Well, they have a lot of experience in accounting, somehow. I don't know how that would happen, but if they do, great, then they can probably tell us what to do to make sure that they can fit into the work environment and actually do really, really good work. You know? Like, I'm sure those kinds of disabilities, they could probably figure something out. Now, If you're working at like oh fuck, I don't know. Let's say, okay, if you want to work as a VFX compositor and you have no arms, there are robotic arms. They can probably figure that shit. Like, if you could get yourself a pair of robotic arms, I mean, hell, depending on the company, if they're a really big company and they can afford it, fucking give you some of robotic arms. I don't know. You know, I don't know. There may be ways of doing things, like, right? Because think about it. If you have a disability, but you want to do a job, you will probably want to at least get yourself the skills necessary to get the job, right? So let's say, for example, someone wants to work as a VFX artist, but they happen to not have any arms for some reason, you know? How do they get the skills to work in that position? You can fire them if they're not effective, but not based on prejudice. Exactly. As long as they can, use their feet. That could be one. Yeah, exactly. How have they, it's like you treat them the same way that you would treat anyone who's trying to work in VFX, right? Show us your resume. That doesn't say you were missing arms, by the way. Just show us your resume. Show us your, what do you call it? Show us your show reel, right? And then, if the work is good, and you can demonstrate that you are doing the work via your show reel, via some show reel breakdown, whatever, then during the interview, this is the question that you'll be asked. I see you don't have any arms. Your show reel is very impressive, so if we were to hire you, what will we need to do for you so that you can be an effective employee? That's it. And they'll be like, let's say, for example, they work with their feet. They'll be like, I'll just need, I will bring, you could be really cool about it. Be like, so I can bring into the office, a special keyboard that I use with my feet, and a special mouse that I use with my foot. As long as I plug them all in to the computer, I should be good to go. For example, right? Or maybe like you have some sort of interface that you can use. I don't fucking know, right? In a similar fashion, it's like a lawyer who is blind, also known as Matt Murdock, also known as Daredevil. You're a lawyer, but you're blind, but you have gone through law school, and you've got the qualifications. What do we need to do? If we were to hire you, what will you need from us so that you can become an effective employee? And what would Matt Murdock say? Fucking nothing, because he actually doesn't need anything because he's that good of a fucking lawyer, right? But point is, just because you have a disability doesn't necessarily mean you have to write that disability down in your resume. You can if you want to, but it's not required. Even if you're missing shit. You're missing a leg, you're missing an arm, you're blind, you're deaf, whatever. Or if you have like a mental disability, you're autistic, or you have Asperger's or whatever, right? The question then becomes, what do we need to do for you to make the work environment a great place, you know? In a similar fashion, right? If you're religious, not that being religious is a fucking disability. If you're religious, and there are things that you need to do. For example, Islamic people, right? If you're a practicing Muslim, you will need to pray at some point around lunchtime, okay? I know this because I have worked with Muslim people. In fact, I worked for a Muslim person who would take some time around 12ish, lunchish. Take some time to bring out the rugs and pray towards Mecca. Sometime around lunch, sometime around midday, and then sometime around 5 o'clock, I think it was, or sometime around 4ish, 5ish. So this, it's that kind of thing where it's like, okay, if we were to hire you, what do you need from us so that you can be a good employee? If you could say something like, I'm a practicing Muslim, so around about 12ish, around about 4ish as well. Usually it's noon. Yeah, something like that. It's like around about 12ish, around about noonish. Oh, sorry, around about 12ish, around about 4ish. I'm gonna need to pray in the direction of Mecca, I think. So I'm gonna need like a quiet space so that I can practice my faith. And then they'll be like, okay, I can go and okay, you can do that in that room. And that's it. That's all that needs to be done, you know? Shit like that. Interesting how this lady is also confirming that affirmative action can be counterproductive. Yeah, that's actually like kind of a woke thing. Because like there's different, like the thing about affirmative action, I think, is that there are different ways of saying that we don't need affirmative action. You've got the good way, the good way of saying that we don't necessarily need affirmative action, which is like, well, it feels a bit fucked when you're just, it feels a bit sus when you're just like specifically hiring someone because they're of a specific race. And then there's a bad way, which is like, affirmative action is causing white people to lose their jobs in favor of black people. Ah! So it's I guess it's kind of like horseshoe theory, but not really. Like, at some point, there are some things that are considered universally not good, but there are good ways of explaining why it's not good, and then there are bad ways of explaining why it's not good. Or like the same with everything. There's good ways of explaining an idea and a position, and then there's bad ways of explaining the exact same idea and the exact same position, like effectively, that makes you look like a complete clown. And when someone unironically sued a university saying, "Oh my god, we gotta get rid of this affirmative action because we Asians are being discriminated because they're constantly picking all of these black people to take up these positions in these degrees, when we Asians clearly did the work." They're like, okay, dude, shut the fuck up. Chill. Holy fuck. Look at it from the other perspective. It's a bit fucked that they're just being picked because they're black. That's a little bit fucked. You know? That kind of sounds like it's the slow, what's it called? The soft bigotry of low expectations is what it's called. It's like, can we stop having this, can we like not have this soft bigotry of low expectations? And instead of that, give them the same educational opportunities and make sure that the schools are as well funded and as properly funded as other schools. I kind of agree with Morgan Freeman here, where he says people shouldn't be using white people or black people anymore, just call them fucking people. Yeah, exactly. In most countries, yes, that's basically what happens. But like, in the context of America, because black people, Hispanic people, Latino people, according to the Federal Reserve, are earning half as much as the average white household and only own 15 to 20% of the net wealth of the average white household. Because there is such a difference, what is called because there is such a racial inequality, as it's called, because that is actually a thing in America, I think, at least in America, it is still valid to make that distinction, because economically, socially, there is still that distinction.
I had to play and give you every dime that I made, and then for 50 years, every time that I played, if you didn't like what I did, you got to burn it like they did in Tulsa and like they did in Rosewood. How can you win? How can you win? You can't win. The game is fixed. So when they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything. We don't own anything. Trevor Noah said it so beautifully last night. There's a social contract that we all have, that if you steal or if I steal, then the person who is the authority comes in and they fix the situation. But the person who fixes the situation is killing us.
Oh, we'll have a look
so
at that
the
in a
social
sec.
contract is broken. And if the social contract is broken, why the f do I give a shit about burning the Football Hall of Fame, about burning the Target? You broke the contract when you killed us in the streets and didn't give a
Oh.
I've been thinking.
You broke the contract when for 400 years we played your game and built your wealth. You broke the contract when we built our wealth again on our own by our bootstraps in Tulsa and you dropped bombs on us. When we built it in Rosewood and you came in and you slaughtered us. You broke the contract, so your Target. Your Hall of Fame. As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this bitch to the ground. And it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge.
Still don't agree with the you or the we part. I think it's just in the end, like, in the context of America, there's still a you and we situation. There's still a you and we situation. The boogeyman. Well, what is Rosewood again? Oh, Rosewood Massacre. Oh shit, what's this? Okay, let's learn about this. 1st of January 19... What? Okay, here we go. The Rosewood Massacre is a racially motivated massacre of black people and the destruction of a black town that took place during the first week of January 1923 in Levy County, Florida, of course. At least 6 black people and 2 white people were killed. Oh, fuck. Eyewitnesses' accounts suggested a higher death toll of 27 to 150. What the fuck? The town of Rosewood was destroyed in what contemporary news reports categorized as a race riot. Florida had an especially high number of lynchings. Oh, by the way, lynchings were a thing in America. Of black men in the years before the massacre, including a well-publicized incident in December 1922. Okay. So I guess, you know, when you have that kind of shit happening as well. Alright, what's this? Something completely irrelevant to the conversation, folks.
All right, I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these? Demand...
You make lemon bitters, jackass. Come on. It's that simple. You make lemon, lime, and fucking bitters.
See life's manager! Make life rue the day it thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons! Do you know who I am? I'm the
I don't know who you are.
man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons! I'm gonna get my engineer...
Can you even burn a house down with lemons?
to invent a combustible lemon that burns your house.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Wait, this was in 2011? What the fuck? Oh, for real? Okay. Portal 2 is old. That's a... I didn't know it was a Portal 2. I did not know there was a Portal 2 joke. Okay. Let's, Okay, so after... How long have we been at it now? After about an hour and a half talking about racial inequality in America. Let's spend the rest of the... Fuck it! Let's spend the rest of the stream talking about Avatar 2. Fuck it! We're not gonna have a Warframe stream tonight, folks. Hey, Doug, how's it going? We're not gonna have a Warframe stream tonight. We're just gonna talk about shit. How many of us have watched Avatar 2? Chat, how many of us have watched Avatar 2? In 3D, optionally, but I watched it in 3D. Soup, you've watched it. Raiderades, you haven't watched it. I think I would actually recommend it. I don't know if I would necessarily highly recommend it, but no spoilers. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I don't think I would necessarily highly recommend it, but I think it's actually really, really good. At least, okay, I will say this. On a technical aspect, right? as someone who works in the industry and is somewhat hyper aware now of this kind of shit, it looks beautiful. It looks it looks fantastic. On a visual scale, from the technical aspect, like, especially because it's like full CG, it looks gorgeous. It is a gorgeous looking film. Like when like the daytime shots that they did with the water. Yes, there's water. The daytime shots that they did with the water, the forest, the beach, the shit that happens in the water. Oh. The amount, I look at that and I think, oh dear Christ, that would have taken a long time to figure out, right? I look at that, I'd be like, oh God, even just trying to like comp that shit together, oh, would have been a fucking nightmare. But it turned out all pretty amazingly, you know, pretty friggin' amazingly. Number one, right? And the lighting was pretty much on point the entire time. Nothing really ever looked out of place. Everything really fit in, and then, you know, it was all the kind of like really colorful that I like to see. You know, everything had like the right amount of saturation that didn't make me think, oh, this looks like a fucking cartoon, but also it never made me think like, oh, this is a bit too dull. Oh, because I don't like grey. Okay, chat, I don't like grey. That's like my least favorite color. So when I see like CG that's just gloomy and shit, ugh. If it's for the story, I'll put up with it, you know. I won't say I necessarily like it, but I'll put up with it if it's part of the story. Whatever, okay, you know, it is what it is. Avatar 2. It's all colorful, beautiful greens, beautiful blues. The sky looks great. Do very hate. Yeah, exactly. The sky looks great. Everyone looks amazing under those lighting conditions. You know. Yeah, shit like that, right? Now, folks, I don't know if I've developed... does it count as being furry if you're suddenly into some of the Na'vi? Not even necessarily the Na'vi from, like, the first film. Not necessarily, what's-her-face from the first film. I'm talking about some of the new ones. Oh my fucking god. Kiri? Or Katie? Yeah. Kiri, her name is Kiri, right? Because I heard Kitty, Katie. Fuck, dude. Yeah, Kiri's kinda hot. Not gonna lie, Kiri is kinda hot. You even have a furry toy in the background? Okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. No need to out me that hard, Gasty How, just chill. Chill, dude, chill. What's this? Oh, I haven't actually played Ragnarok yet, so I don't want to watch this. I do need to play Ragnarok at some point. But I consider Elsa fans as furries. Just as fake. How are Elsa fans furries? Elsa's a human. You're talking about Elsa from Frozen, right? She's a human. She's a witch, but she's a human. So, human in a warped sense? No, wait, Elsa? You're talking about Elsa from Frozen, right? You're talking about Elsa from Frozen, right? She's a human. What do you mean? For all intents and purposes, she's a human. It's 3D with big cartoon eyes. Then you're just an anime fan. Then wait, by your logic, anyone who's into any anime character is a fucking furry then. She's got the big eyes like Alita. Right? She's got the big fuck off eyes like Alita. Who is literally from a fucking anime. Anime is different. It's the same idea, bro. Chill. Chill. No, I don't agree with that at all, mate. I don't agree with that at all. I don't necessarily agree with... I don't necessarily like Elsa that much, but she's an Ice Witch queen, and you know what? I kind of fuck with that. Not gonna lie, I kind of fuck with that. Anyway. Yeah, Kiri's kind of hot. And I'm... without spoiling anything, so I reckon the things that Kiri gets up to, that they kind of talk about as like potentially being a problem, I think they're setting that up because they're going to further... I think they're going to like further investigate that shit in like a future film, and they're like sort of starting to... I think that's a setup. You know, I think that's a setup so that let's just say I think she's actually the embodiment of Erminsoul, and I'll just leave it at that. Took also kind of cute. Okay, of course you think Took is kind of fucking cute. For those who don't know, Took is a fucking lolly. Took is a... this is not really a spoiler. Took is one of... Is it a spoiler? Is it a spoiler to say who they kind of are? Okay. Go ahead. Well then, if anyone doesn't want to hear spoilers for the next minute, let me wait. Unmute B for a sec. Okay, let me see. There is a thing I have. Hang on. So, I do have this thing here. Let me see. Media source. Oh, hang on. Okay, so... Okay, I guess it's not a countdown timer, it's a count up timer. So... Okay, here we go. So, on the bottom right hand corner, there's a timer, right? So it says, you can mute me, and I'm gonna start the timer. And when it hits 60, then obviously you can unmute me and I'll just move on, right? So, ready? 3, 2... I hope you're muted. So, Took is basically one of the kids of, the two main characters, the two main Na'vi, right? You got the guy who basically saved the world in the first movie and the chick who saved the world with him. Obviously, they get together, they fuck, because apparently that works out, and they make a bunch of kids. Took is one of them, and she's like the youngest. You've got also two boys, an elder and a younger, and then you also have Kiri, who allegedly was conceived in some way that made no sense and they don't know how that happened. Because Kiri was conceived in such a way that they don't understand how that happens, and because she has the sort of crazy ass powers, right? I think she's the embodiment of Erminsoul. I think she was born of the Erminsoul, and that's all I'm gonna say. What's the timer for? If you could just gesture if it's safe to unmute. I hope you're unmuted now. There we go. Just like that. Okay, there we go. Anyway, yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing like what film they can make later. Now keep in mind, it took them like what 11 years thereabouts. Yeah, 1 minute of spoilers. Yeah, exactly. Now keep in mind, like it took them like 11 years to make this film, but apparently the majority of the time they were just waiting for technology to catch up. So I wonder if they're going to be able to start making, not necessarily pump them out, because I don't want them to pump them out. It's the kind of thing where I like, take your fucking time, make sure it looks good. It's that kind of thing, right? I wonder if they're going to like keep on keeping on, making more films like every 3 years, 4 years. I could see a film like this being made in 4 years and look really, really good. You know, because I don't think James Cameron is working on anything else these days. At least that's what I've heard. He might not be working on anything else these days, which means he could just be like full on focusing on this kind of stuff. And if he's doing that, hey, don't mind me. I don't mind that. Well, I mean, like I said, I kind of find some of the Na'vi really, really hot, and if I could be reborn as a Na'vi, get some of that Naviusi, let's just say. I don't know, man. Sounds good to me. Savage. Savage. I just have one very simple question for you. Just one. A very simple and easy question for you. What the actual fuck is this? Like for real, what is this? What the fuck? Oh, sorry guys. Shoujo Ramune? Don't tell me they're doing a fucking live action of that. Is that meant to be a JoJo meme? What the fuck? Don't tell me they're actually doing Shoujo Ramune. Don't believe that. Oh dear Christ. Now I understand. Now I understand. Ah, man. Well, we thought we were going to do a weekly Archon hunt. I guess not. Oh! Warframe Slander Part 2. Let's have a look at this. Yep. True. Fucking boobins. When they have no weapon for Zaku to remove. What do you even do at that point? Your camera is blocking the text? Okay, one sec. Oh, hang on. Why is this? Flip. Transform. Flip. What does Aku mains even do at this point? Explaining why armor is a useless stat. Well, armor is a useless stat though. Frost mains. True! You literally have like a fucking useless ability in your third, right? What do you even do with your first ability is actually useless. Your second ability is also actually kind of useless. And so what? You just armor strip with your 4 and that's it, right? What the fuck do you even do? Oh, 10 seconds after boosting. True! True! You call yourself a tank, you still get coned somehow. So true! So true! Raider raids! Get fucking called out! And you know what the best part is? You know what the best part is? Inaris is fucking passive. Remember, chat, Inaris' fucking passive basically became Sevagod's fucking passive, except Sevagod's actually works! It actually works past level 50 content! And then you know what the best part is? Unairu happened. Everyone has Inaris' fucking passive now. So Inaris doesn't even have a fucking passive! And yet Inaros mains will sit here and scream to the heavens, oh no, he doesn't need a rework. He does not need a rework. Trust me, he doesn't need a rework. Bro, what do you mean he doesn't need a rework? He literally doesn't have a passive. Says the mag main. Hey, at least my passive still... At least I still have a passive. Or rather, hey, at least I still have vacuum when my fucking shit gets blown up. You know? You know, Shin? At least my shit is... At least I still have a vacuum when my mower dies, or when my pet dies, or when my sentinel dies. Especially if I was playing sentinels. Everyone else who loses their sentinels, they lose their vacuum. As mag mains, we lose our sentinels, we still got our vacuum. Get fucked! Vault mates losing the ghost mates for the 10th for the... Yes, true. True. Enemies ignoring Banshee. Oh my god. This hurts. This hurts me. Because I used to play Banshee. And now I cannot for the life of me figure out a way to play Banshee, and that makes me, you know, satisfied. The Soundquake sucks dick. Red Point when he can't suspend Xbox players for talking IRL. Who the hell is Red Point? I don't know him. I don't know them. Harrow mates when they can't get a single kill from energy. Okay. Okay. To be fair, there is a mod that I highly recommend people Harrow mains start using at that point. It's an augment for his first ability. So as long as you don't get rid of his first ability, you're good to go. It's called Tribunal. They buffed it so that anyone who kills any enemy who is under the effect of your condemn, as long as you have a penance and thurible working at the same time, you will get all of the energy and all of the healing. So, you know, that's just great. You know, Tribunal, boom. Harrow is made for team builds, but it really only works in solo. Tribunal basically fixes that problem, Shin. I feel like Tribunal is the way to go. If you're not using Tribunal, you cannot complain that you're not getting any kills to give everyone else energy. It's a mod though. What? Anyway, doesn't matter. It's a mod slot? Oh, boo fucking who? Oh, boo fucking who? This is a 4-former build. Figure it out. You know? That's all I gotta say. Boo fucking who? Figure it out, dude. Just figure it out. I'm not going to try and, you know, I'm not going to try and hold your hand through everything. Oh, so it's one former. Figure it out. Should it be built in? Well, it's not, so deal with it. Strongest Cephalon Orders fanboy. Only Cephalon Orders fanboy. Weakest Cephalon Psi Enjoyer. True. True. Says triple augmented mag. Yeah! And I figured it out. So what's up? I'm being held captive by quasars for slandering them? Okay. Okay. Trinity mains being outclassed by swapping to the operator for 0.1 seconds. Yeah, that's actually kind of rough, not gonna lie. Although I guess you still can't really get outclassed on the EV front, but oh god, for the healing front, which is precisely the point of Trinity in the first place, yeah, no, you gotta get fucked. Like, she's meant to be a fucking healer, and yet you get coned by operators. MMA's realizing they get outclassed by every single Warframe, except Inaros. I mean, even back in the day when World on Fire was the old World on Fire, I think she kind of got outclassed in that regard by, like, Equinox. Ember is still good, but, like, I mean, there's a reason why I barely use her. The new reworked energy cycle is annoying. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I don't use her. And there's usually a good reason why I don't use her.
My track record so clean.
Devar remains being the last to extract you because they use Prowl the entire time. Yep. Yep, agreed.
It's too late because I'm here to stay and these girls know that I'm nasty. I sent it back to her.
Garuda mates using their useless courses. Hey! Hey! I mean, true, but like, it doesn't matter what weapon you use as Garuda because Garuda just kills everything with a fucking blood bomb anyway. Her claws are great. Fuck off. You know? Her claws are fine. And you know what the best part is? You can put like the most random ass build. You can put the most random ass build on those claws. And you can basically have those claws as like the main weapon that you use. And then you don't have to fuck over a build for a weapon. For a melee weapon that you otherwise would be using on someone else, right? Now, granted, you could just do a fucking build 3, but then you would lose your third build slot. And do you really want to burn your third build slot just for Garuda? I don't think so. So fuck it, man. Use her claws. Her claws are actually kind of decent too, not gonna lie.
City talking, we taking notes. Tell him all to keep making posts. Wish he could, but he can't get close. OG so proud of me.
Astrology girl Nyx mains trying to use their psychic powers IRL.
So, I don't clear up rumors. Where's y'all
I don't even know if that's real. Hey, kiddo. True. Siren Banes when someone else gets their kill. Yep, agreed. Agreed. Argon crystals is okay, I've never had that happen to me before. But then again, I don't do my Argon farming like right before the daily reset. Darvo offering 2% off the most expensive weapons in the game. Oh, fuck that! Darvo offering 20% off the most useless weapons in the game. Let's have a look at what Darvo's fucking deal is today, chat. I betcha it's gonna be a weapon you've never used, that you never will use, and that the very mere sight of it just makes you cringe. Let's have a look at what Darvo's deal even is today. I'm curious. I'm actually curious now. What even is Darvo's motherfucking deal today? Let's go to Strata. Take me to Strata. Let's go. Oh yeah, while we're at it, let's have a look at Shin's Ember Prime. If I can while in the loading screen. I don't think I can do that in the loading screen. No, you cannot? Okay, rip. Oh, also, I can't take you to the Strata Relay. Rip. You know what? Fuck it. We might as well have a Warframe stream as well. I mean, it's not like I'm working tomorrow. Oh wait, I am. Fuck! Okay. Alright, Davo. What in tarnation are you selling this time? Okay, let me see. Where is Davo? He's downstairs, right?
Come in.
Alright, what do we do? Like I said, a 30% off discount for a heat dagger! Bro! What the fuck? Who Megalog gives a shit? Literally, who a Megalog gives a shit? That's my point. Davo is not offering 2% off the most expensive weapons in the game. He's literally offering 30% off the most fucking shit weapons used in the world. Players being offered 2 useless rewards as a at least you're offered 2 useless resources as a daily login reward. Most of the time you're offered 1 useless daily resource. You just gotta fucking take it. X-Scout mains using all their energy on 1 grenade butcher even though they're still dead. True! Fucking X-Scout mains. They think they're Raiden, but they're actually not Raiden, they're just that guy with the fucking pool noodle. Like, they think they're Raiden, but they're actually just a Jedi guy meme. Yeah, you think you're actually, when you're playing Excalibur, you think you're playing Raiden, but you're actually just this dude. These are Excalibur maids. Try to search for Quite Shallow. Why, did she change her name? Yeah, Quite Shallow. Moved on to other things, yeah? Yeah, she got rid of all of her content. Yeah, what about it? Yeah, Shy's no longer... I don't think Shy plays Warframe anymore. Why though? Does that mean Bip is... Does it mean Bip Bop is gone? It was her video. It means that Rebecca reading Bip Bop is gone. But Bip Bop is still very much alive. In fact, the person who has Bip Bop is in this community. You know, the person who actually has Bip Bop is one of us. And every so often they might show up and just say hi. But yeah, the person who has Bip Bop is one of us. Even the VTubing videos are gone. Then she's just moving on to do other things then. Either A, she just straight up quit Warframe, or B, she just straight up quit YouTubing. And it looks like it's probably like, might be both. It is what it is. I mean, I guess it's a little bit much to like get rid of all of her videos, but like, in a similar fashion, there was a guy called Husky Starcraft, who is no longer Husky Starcraft. Or rather, just became Husky. So basically, Husky deleted his 1 million subscriber channel, rather. He basically killed all the videos. It's just something they do, you know. HD Husky? Yeah, exactly, HD Husky. I miss him. But like, he's moved on, he's doing other shit, whatever. People move on, you know, it is what it is, you know? Not everyone can be like me. Still at it after 10 years. I'll be right back, chat.
Operator, are you enjoying the view?
Zeta Warp got something new. What do you want me to? What do you want me to like? React to it and stir up some good old-fashioned drama. One of the Bungie devs' Twitter posts are all gone after harassment. Oh yeah, they'll do that too. Yeah. If you are an employee who's caught up in some harassment memes, there's a good fair chance that the company is going to fucking purge your ass. Alright, let's do this. How many dailies do I have? Spy, disruption. Oh god. Alright, fuck it then. Let's go through all of them. If you want to join me for dailies, and also the good old-fashioned Archon hunt, then we got one spot left. It's /join Kategari or /w Kategari. Fuck it, let's do it. Those channels are too over-edited. Nah. I mean, there's over-edited and then there's not edited enough. What the fuck is this? Savage, this better not be TOS. Oh, you can't hear it? Fuck! Magikayo!
Go buy another utility.
Okay, here we go.
Before we use this utility knife, we need to get it out of its packaging. This can prove to be quite difficult. To help with this, simply go buy another utility knife. Before we use this utility knife, we need to get it out of its packaging. This can prove to be quite difficult. To help with this, simply go buy another utility knife. Before we use this utility knife, we need to get it out of its packaging. This can prove to be quite difficult. To help with this, simply go buy another utility knife.
I know it's a looping video. I know it's a looping video. Nice one, Savage. Very good. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so let's see.
The enemy would rather destroy their data.
Shin, since you're already up ahead, you go A, I'll go B. No. Shin, you're up ahead, so you go A. Savage, you go B, I'll go C. Let's go. Come on, people, we're on the clock. I don't know, Archon. Time to figure it out, Shin. A shouldn't be too difficult. You just have to go to the right and then try to figure it out. It's probably time you actually try to learn that shit.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. The target console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data.
Just trip the alarm. You don't need all three, right? No, you only need two. Which means you're going to be putting pressure on both me and Savage. So Savage, you better get ready to perform. Lure spy? Yeah, lure spy. Oh, fuck. Nearly fucked it up. I love lure spy. Yeah, I actually quite like lure spy. Even if they are a little bit long sometimes. They're very interesting. Here we go. Oh, fuck. Ah, shit. I screwed it up. Oh, okay. Got him. Whew. Yeah, I actually legit forgot how the first one worked. Like, I couldn't remember what it was.
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no alarms.
Oh, Shin, you actually tripped the alarms, did you? Okay, I'll show you how to do A, so that you can try and remember for next time, yeah? I wonder if I can still actually...
We have everything we can.
Oh no, you actually got it! Nice!
Extraction.
Okay. Or maybe Sandwich got it, I don't know.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
I don't understand a thing. Basically, in Lure Spy missions, you've got a couple of mechanics to work with. So, time is a factor in Lure Spy, right? In the spy vaults, in some of the spy vaults, you have these like portal-looking things that, or like these like rift-looking things that basically will take you to either another part of the map or same part of the map, different time. And by different time, I mean there's two different versions of the time. There is the pre-moon collapse time, where everything looks all like pristine and well kept up. And then you've got the post-collapse, where everything's all broken and shit. Right? So with some of the spy vaults, especially I think Spy Vault B, you've gotta... Yeah, past and present. Yeah, exactly. With Spy Vault B, you gotta like go between past and present to like set up a few things in the past so that they're set up in the present, that kind of dealio. And with A doesn't have any of that. A is more of just like using those portals to get to different parts of the map, I think. Whereas B and C is a lot of like past and present shit. C is like hella trickier, but once you figure out a way to do it, just try to remember how to do it that way and you should be good to go. Yeah, changing the past affects the present. Eternalism, baby! Or actually, that's more like presentism. I think. Anyway. I'm not gonna get into that shit. I just use Wukong. I think these spy vaults are a little bit more 5-head than the simple just use Wukong method. But yeah. Former? What the fuck? But yeah, just use Wukong. Oh, you did the... Wait, did you do the music room? Wait, what? How did... Oh. Oh. Like with Spy Vault C that I just did, there's also an aspect of a memory up. Get out! Damn it. With Spy Vault C, there's also like an aspect of like memory puzzle involved at the very end, where it's like a music memory puzzle, and if you can do it that way, you can do it that way. Otherwise, there is the alternative method after that, and I fucking don't remember how that works. What if you watch my video? What if I don't? It's just your way of doing the spy vault, right? I mean, do you want me to explain the whole thing? How long is your video? It's the fastest way? It's 3 minutes long. Oh, it's the whole thing. I could watch your video, or I could just do it myself. Remember, we are watching my stream. I could just do it myself, but whatever. Next time, mate, next time. Disruption, I kinda don't want to do that. Capture! I just want to do the fast shit. It's not the normal way, it's the fastest way possible. I don't really care. Speed is going to make things savage. We're trying to teach Shin how to do the thing. Speed, I think, is just going to make it too confusing.
Ordis has been counting stars, operator.
Trying to do it quote-unquote the fastest way when you're trying to teach someone how to actually do the thing in the first place is not going to work. It's not going to work. It's fine. I can teach Shin how to do it. But thank you. Oh yeah, Shin, feel free to watch that video if I don't get around to it. I'm sure it will help you out in some way, shape, or form. Like legit, it'll help you out. I can show you the way with Neja. What if they don't want to use Neja? You ever think about that? You're gonna make them think like the only way you could do Lewis spy vaults is with Neja.
The synthesis scanner is detecting a potential target. Use it.
It's not like you can get copyrighted. Oh no, it's not the copyright aspect. This is more of a case of like, I think it would be more effective if I just teach him how to do it.
You're still in the clear.
Show it nice and slowly.
Scans indicate our target is in the vicinity. Find them. You found a target. Capture them quickly before they escape.
What the? How did you get down there?
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Excellent work.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm in no mood to like wait for the acolyte to show up. So let's just get out of here. Even though I said we're gonna get out of here ASAP, I'm kind of still getting stuck in various places. How many guys? Okay. I wonder, out of all of us, when you use the Natharok chat, do you actually... How many of us still try to go for the perfect shot? So not the full charge, full charge, but like the 2/3 charge. How many of us still try to go for the 2/3 charge? Because like, I'm almost like too lazy to try and aim for 2/3 these days. I always goes perfect. Yeah. I feel like it makes it... like, the thing about the perfect is, like, I feel like it should be making a huge difference. Like, it feels like it makes a huge difference, which is probably why I should continue doing it. But when you look at the stats, the difference between perfect charge and not perfect charge is, like... I mean, it's not super duper high. Especially compared to the difference between, like, normal charge and no charge. Like obviously the difference, sorry, the difference between no charge and normal charge is like super duper massive. But the difference between perfect charge and normal charge seems a bit on the minimal side.
So bold as people with nothing to lose.
Just a minute, just a little bit. Just 2 minutes of a video. It's 2 minutes of a video, but like a lot of it, it's actually 3 minutes, number one. Secondly, there's already a lot of it that like, I thought Perfect had better lifetime. Oh, as in it sticks around longer? I don't know. Maybe you're right. I mean, I'll still try to go for it, but like sometimes I'm just too lazy. I don't want to fucking deal with it. Like keep in mind, like you say 3 minutes of it, but like, I don't know if you know the tricks. I don't really need to know the tricks. I just need to be able to do it. I don't really care about tricks. Okay, Shin, keep an eye on my stream, okay? I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna show you, okay? Fuck it. There may be some tricks involved, but I don't fucking know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't really know. I'll just show you. Make this a YouTube video? I'm sure I've done it as a YouTube video before. Okay, fuck it then.
These foes deserve your respect. Honor them with quick deaths, and I victory.
Alright, apparently, Twitch chat wants me to make this a YouTube video, so hello everyone. I'm basically just going to show you how to do a way, one of the few ways that you can do all of the Lure spy vaults. Okay? Now Savage is trying to show us a way of doing them with Nezha, because apparently there are a few tricks that you can do with Nezha. At this point, like, if you're new to Lure spy vaults, which Shin in chat is, this is the very purpose of why I'm doing this video in the first place. Even as a video as well, by the way. I just want to show you how to do it normally. So with Spy Vault A, you have this button. You click it, or you hit it, you shoot it, and that'll open up the door. Now with Spy Vault A, you see that over there, Shin? You see that? Over there? That's the goal. How do we get there? We have these things here. They're kind of like portals. You can shoot them if they're not big. If they're small, you can shoot them, but they're big right now, so we can just walk into them. We've gone from the present into the past. Okay? That's the goal. That thing right there is the goal. Okay? With Spy Vault A, open it up. You see this thing right here? We've got this button here that you can shoot. Now, you can actually shoot that from the side. But if your aim is crap, you know, if your aim is crap, then just go to the front and just shoot that. There are 2 more ways for this room. There are, but I'm just going to talk about one way that I do all the time. Whatever. That's a button. That's a button. Okay. Shoot this void rift. It opens up and you can walk through it. Now that we've opened up the door in the past, this door is going to open up in the present. And so now we go through here. And... oh, fuck. Try not to get hit by that friggin' alarm thing. Now we're going to make a mad dash up around here. Follow these roots. Right? Follow the roots. Follow the roots. Go in through here.
This console has been
we're in the present. We're gonna go into the past. And then it's just standard hacking shenanigans, okay? So it's basically I'll show you the entire route again when
retrieval was successful.
When we go back into the present. So we're back into the present, right? We're back into the present. All around here. Around here. Around here. All the way around, right? All the way around. Not to here, though. All the way around, follow the route to this area here, okay? And then here is a bit of a parkour trip. You gotta try and find your way... ah! You gotta make your way all the way up to here. Don't get hit by the lasers. Don't get hit by all that jazz. Follow the routes. And then, you know, do the thing. And that's it. There's an Excalibur Prime statue. As long as you can see that, you've basically hit the goal. Then go back to the present. And we're back to the present, and we move on. That's basically Vault A, okay? So, the general idea is you've got a lot of mechanics to do with going from the past to the present to the past to the present. And follow the routes is usually the goal. If that doesn't work, just try to, you know, refer to some sort of a video that'll tell you where to actually go. I'm actually getting now lost with the easiest part of this particular mission, which is following this particular area here. Wait, what am I not seeing here? Oh, there we go. Imagine not doing the music room. Music room is optional. The goal is just to be able to do the mission. Alright, this is music. This is Spy Vault B. Okay? Spy Vault B is actually a little bit more straightforward, I think. The goal is to get over there. Okay? But you need to get there, I think, in the past? Because you can't just go there. Okay? You can't just simply go there. If we were to go there...
This console has been severely damaged.
See how this console is broken? Because this console is broken in the present. You can't just go there. So... try not to get hit by the lasers again. So this laser... 2, 3... it's this kind of laser here. So you can just basically count to 3. And then go into this area here. See this? There's a void rift here. We're gonna go in through there. Why did you choose the right part? Because that's the one that I remember, Savage. Relax. You're gonna try and parkour your way through here. This is the way I always go. Okay. I'm not gonna try and teach you some other way. Whatever. It's fine. There may be other ways, but it doesn't matter. This is the way that I do. Okay. We're gonna hit this button here. He's on console. Well, you know, get used to it. And we're gonna bypass... we're just gonna hack this. That's it.
Data extracted.
And we're gonna go through that rift and we're done. That's it. We're done. I don't know what the other way is. Okay? I actually don't know what the other way is. Is this what I think it is? Oh. Okay. And I guess that's another way of doing it. Yeah, I have no idea what other way I have no idea what Savage is talking about. This is the way that I know. Feel free to watch Savage's video later on if you want to look up that part. But I'm just showing you, like, very slowly, or slowly enough, how to do this. And then we have... doesn't do any of these? Yeah, I know.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Alright. We're gonna go now to Vault C. Vault C is usually the quote-unquote hardest, and usually the quote-unquote longest. Usually. But I'm gonna show you how to... like, you're gonna have to, like, refer to this. You might want to refer to this video when you do this one. This one looks more... these look a bit more comprehensible to me. Savage, your video is tricky. Boom, see? That's the reason why I'm doing it this way, Savage. Because I want it to be as comprehensible and understanding as possible, okay? So just relax, Savage. Now! Shin, you may be thinking, how do I actually start this one? Well, the goal is actually to start using this, okay? The goal is to actually start using this. But it's broken. Yeah? It's broken. So, we gotta find the void rift. It's hiding in here. Hit this button. Is that what I think it is? Oh no, never mind. The void rift is here. We're gonna go to the past. And in the past, we're gonna unlock this door. This starts the this basically starts the vault. Okay? So we're now in the past. Everything is all nice and clean. Awesome. You could try and go in here. This is like an extra room. This is irrelevant for the most part, okay? This is an irrelevant extra room for the most part. We're just gonna wait for it to turn back blue. Shoot it again. Because if we walk through when it turns back blue, we might accidentally trigger something. So we're going to hack here. Gonna open the door, okay? Now we're gonna wait until this door opens so that we can shoot this button. And then you're gonna want to time your movement in such a way, and you want to get hit. You want to get through here fast, by the way. We're gonna time our movement so that we don't get hit by the lasers, okay? It's that simple. Stand on this platform, shoot that button. For ease of use, shoot these things down. Either will do. You don't need to shoot both of them. So you could go over there, but we're not gonna go over there. In fact, I don't think I've ever done it by going over there. Mainly because I probably don't even make it there in the first place. We're just gonna go through this rift here, okay? We're just gonna go through this rift here. We're gonna make it down the left side. Like so. And it's that room again that we were just looking at, except it's all broken. Because we're back in the past. Oh, we're back in the present. Very important, okay? You see how this thing here is moving between this room and this room? You're going to want to go through the rift when it's in this room. So that we make it here. Okay? For ease of use, shoot down all of these plates. And that one too. For ease of use, shoot them down. You don't need to. And now comes my favorite part. This is the music memory room. Okay? The goal is to remember the pattern that is displayed here, and then jumping on these platforms here in that way. Okay? Okay, cool. I have a pretty good memory. Wait. Oh, right. Ah. Just like that, okay? And so if you do it the memory way, which is triggering the hell out of Savage right now. If you do it the memory way, you just go through. Boom! That's it, right? Now let me see if I can figure out Savage's alternative method, which is to go through the left door. So if you want to go through the left door, you're going to have to disable this security here in order to disable the lasers. And then what? Oh, I think you have to make a mad dash like so. Then you have to disable the security here. Is sort of what I remember. And then... Oh, right! Yes, I remember how this works. You have to shoot that button to create the rift. And in doing so, you actually push that red... You see how you push that red one in there? You push that red box in there, which explodes. And so by pushing that red box in there, that explodes... Sorry, one sec. You have to go back into the past now. Oh, I don't know. You have to go back into the present. You push that red box in there, that can explode, yeah? So... You shoot it. And in doing so, you make a hole. And in doing so, you go over here. I can't remember if you have to go into the present. Yeah. And then that's how you get into here. And then, you know, you go into the past or something rather. You know, you just figure it out from there. But I do the memory puzzle because I'm good at doing I'm good at memory. And yeah, folks, if for nothing else, that is your easy mode guide to just doing the spy vaults for Thingo. for lure. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of all of this in the comments below. What's harder? I guess is the big question. Lure vaults or Kuva Fortress vaults? I don't think the Kuva Fortress vaults are that difficult. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. True. But like generally speaking, as new places with new spy vaults show up, usually those ones end up being a bit more trickier, but still, I mean, they're all pretty straightforward. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Warframe content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Who's shooting at me? Bye. Lure will be more confusing for newcomers. Yeah, I agree.
Good dance, all.
Kuva Fortress is shooting panels. Some of it is a... I feel like... Oh, I don't know, maybe you're right. I think maybe Lure Rescue is a bit more tricky, if anything. Because, like, Lure Rescue is, like... You kind of need to also, like, figure out timing. Can you do an Earth Mantle guide very hard? I don't know how to do it. Bro, I don't even know how to do it, mate. You're asking the wrong person here. I don't know about Earth Mantle, mate. That one's way too dang for me. Oh, it's easy. You just gotta know what you're doing? Yeah, easy for you to say, buddy. Yeah, Earth Mantle is the hardest mission in the game. You don't know that one?
Seems like every last corpus who signed on to Alad V's
I meant Lure Rescue.
have yet to be heard
I meant
from.
Kuva Rescue. What did I say?
What I call a cast iron non-disclosure agreement.
No, Lure Rescue is straightforward. Kuva Rescue, on the other hand, is a bit of a meme. Did I say Lure Rescue? I meant Kuva Rescue. Alright, let's continue with the next daily. Come on, I want to go to sleep at some point. I'd like to sleep at some point in the next 3 years. Okay, fuck mobile defense. We'll just do the exterminate. Shin, join in. You've got 15 seconds to join in. Make haste!
Everything in orders, operator? Is that a pun?
Get your goddamn job, you can do this tomorrow. The Earth Mantle Guide, hey? The most difficult guide in the history of Western civilization. I'll think about it. I'm afraid it's probably going to take me 4 hours to do an Earth Mantle Guide. Guess how? I don't know, man.
Accept your death, and you may yet avoid it. Trust in your training.
I think you might be asking a bit too much of me, buddy.
That was a juggernaut. They were lured out by the death of infested.
Oh, I meant your Archon hunts. Oh!
Or amp up the fight.
I'll see how I go.
I'm still
How do you even memorize mantle as a capture? Probably just looked it up. Alright, Juggy time. Oh, I see him.
Prepare for incoming.
Nani? Whoa, everyone died. Whoa, what's going on?
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
What in the hell? And there are no other enemies around here, are there? Oh, yes, there are. Allegedly. Oh, thank you. Jesus Christ, we're getting destroyed here by this fucking juggernaut. Oh, who brought along Shadow Stalker? What in the hell? Well, he dead now. Okay, Juggy's dead. Juggy's dead. Shadow Stalker's dead. Alright, let's move on. After we got basically, like, spectacularly deleted. We are pushing them back!
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to explosion. How do you even use this? Oh, that's better.
It is done, Tenno.
It's 11:35. It's usually gonna take me about half an hour to finish up an Archon hunt. Fuck it, let's do it tonight. Tomorrow being Wednesday, I actually want to spend the day just, tomorrow time... Do you have a good bedtime story to tell? Nah. If by bedtime story you mean a story that can help you go to sleep. Nah. Normally, when I'm going to bed and I want to sleep, porn helps. And I'll just leave it at that. Okay, if I can get a Tau Forged Red, if I could get a Tau Forged Crimson, that'd be fantastic. Obviously Tau Forged Yellow would be preferable right now, but I'll get whatever. Ooh, 300% strength Oberon, 500 health. Okay, looks like I'm playing. Looks like I'm playing Oberon then. Let's do this. Savage! What the fuck, dude? You and your level 13 Nidus Prime, bruh. I'll join. Okay. Give me a sec then.
I've been thinking, Operator. I thought you'd want to know.
Alternatively, you could just use Ivara's Prowl Augment as well. Ivara's Prowl Augment, you don't have to worry about lasers, you don't have to worry about drones. You're pretty much good to go for the most part, yeah. Ivara's Prowl can't bullet jump those. That's fine. Tripwire. And with the prowl, or with the prowl augment, or is prowl the augment? With your third ability augment, you also go faster on your tripwire, so that's good. Infiltrate? That's what it's called. Thank you. Yeah, it's called infiltrate. Infiltrate. Ivara is able to bypass laser barriers and gains 25% movement speed. This is actually affected by power strength. So your 25% movement speed can be increased. And it's also particularly good on a tripwire. So yeah. So what you can do is you put up a tripwire while you're still in prowl. And then what you want to do is run up the tripwire and then jump off it. And you will fly pretty damn far. I have done that many times. It works. Alright, with the power of Gas Dehow in our team, surely we're gonna get ourselves a Tau Forged. Surely we're gonna get a Tau Forged. Why is it paid only? Because I guess Astrostar is it's pay to win. Alright, let's do this.
Whatever Pazul is building, it is consuming huge amounts of power and resources. Shut his facilities down.
Tau trembles within you, just as it consumes me. Kill your pride and follow me, Natal.
Sabotage? I guess so.
The Golden Makers lead the system to waste. Hang your heads in shame, children of abomination, filth born.
Where am I going? This way. Jesus Christ, man! How much power strength is on this? How much power strength is on this goddamn No. Yeah, how much power strength is on this Valkyr?
Filth-born chattels.
Objective achieved. Well done.
Objective achieved. Well done.
What? Confusing map? They're all confusing. So where are you going? Okay, let's do this. It's a red shard. I feel like bringing a different weapon. I know, Sakura Blur, not a bow. Sakura Blur, I'm not bringing a bow. What do I feel like bringing today? You know what, for some reason I feel like bringing the Shadow. No, it's not a Shadow. Corinth. Where are you? Did I call you a different... Nope, there you are. Literally next to it. Bloody hell. Kinda got blind as a bat. Okay. Oh god, it's an excavation mission. Alright, let's do this. Wait, where am I going?
Pazul's project is consuming huge amounts of cryonic. Extract it before Narmer can.
You abandoned me. In the hour of my sacrifice, you turned your face away. And so, there is no place for you in the eternal fields of Tau.
Excavator is ready to go. Keep it powered and protect it from enemy fire. Excavator has run out of power. Find a cell.
I think this one should do the trick.
Artifact has been located. Proceed to the dig site.
We know the mission. We will not fail.
God damn it, I killed everything. What do you mean? What are you trying to do? You're Valkyria. Alright, that should be thoroughly defended. Wait, you guys didn't defend that one?
Excavator deployed. Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact. The scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site.
Don't forget to come and get your healing, folks.
Prepare for incoming support.
Not that it matters, like, you're freaking playing... What are you playing? Nyx, Ember, and Valkyria. Nyx is the only one that actually needs healing. Alright, let's move on.
Excavator deployed. Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact. The scanner has picked up a target.
Whoa, defending 2, are we? It's very bold.
Transference signal strong. We're ready for battle.
We need another power.
Oh.
The excavator has lost power. Find another cell.
Move and strike. We have to win this.
I think we need an extra power cell on D.
Bones of my father, fathom drowned. Behold me. Carcass of my mother, flame devoured. Behold me. Limbs of my children, piecemeal.
Okay, got it. Oh, we're gonna need another one as well.
We need another power cell for the excavator.
Alright, I got 2. Savage, are you using Enraged or nah? The augment where like your ult lasts a little less, not even a little less. Your ult doesn't last as long, but you get like, what is it, 200% crit chance, 200% crit damage, or some crazy ass shit like that. Ah, that's an ally. Alright, 1 to go, folks, 1 to go. Should be able to defend this one pretty easily. I'll go get 2.
excavator is ready to go.
Turns a 4 energy drain into a. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You get to use your fourth ability a little bit for a little less time, but on the flip side, you get to do like a whole heap of extra damage, which your crit chance goes up by a whole lot, doesn't it? Doesn't add any more crit. Wait, what? Enraged. Yeah. You get 200% crit chance. Your damage and your crit chance is increased by 200%. Not that much though, 200% crit chance? Dude, 200% crit chance is pretty massive. For the most part. It means, if for nothing else, it means you get red crits like pretty much instantly, number one. Number two, like, it's still 200% crit chance, you know, don't knock it. Don't go run around saying, oh, just get 200% crit chance, you know, it's nothing. No, that's something, dude. That's a pretty big deal. It's not something to write home to mom about necessarily, but it's a pretty big ass deal, dude. So, you know. Don't downplay it. No, I thought it was just a duration ability. No, it's not just duration, mate. But you get locked out of that ability half the time. It's like Tatalia's E. If you use it for a shorter period of time, you get locked out of it for a shorter period of time. It's the same idea as Tatalia's E. Tatalia's special. Oh, actually, it's exactly like Tatalia's E. Because think about it. Not only with Tatalia's special do you have that thing where it's like if you use it long, you get locked out for long. But it's also a melee attack. And you're using dualies! Using 2 claws! With Tatalia's special, you're using 2 knives and potentially a spear. So, like, it's almost exactly like Tatalia's special ability.
Azul will need to look elsewhere for his cryotic supplies.
Get out of here.
Reader has lost power. Find another cell.
Well, if you want to grab that. Do you guys want to actually do that one or leg it? Alright, we're done. Let's get out of here.
Protect the remaining dig sites.
Well, at least getting 500 cryotic is a little less painful than doing a 10 waves of defense mission. I find defense missions really take all the energy out of me. It's not that they're difficult, it's just that I feel like I fall asleep. Yeah, 30k Siberia run is just hell. That's why I don't do that. Savage, get over here. Come on, man. Stop wasting time. Fuck. Like, I realize it's only 11 seconds, but Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah. Either we already have it, Savage, because we've been playing for so long, or we don't care. I think you can relax, mate. I think you can relax. The courier is usually always there anyway. Perhaps. Alright. I feel like bringing back my Sonos Prime. Or even better, I feel like bringing back my Natarok. Let's do it. Easy now with Archon Eye. Archon Eye. Hey Billy, how's it going? With the Natarok? Yeah, I guess so. Except I wasn't using the Natarok earlier. I wonder what What's-His-Face is selling today. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I wonder what What's-His-Face is selling today.
Yeah, glad to have nothing fancy, but top shelf in my book.
Oh, he's selling yellows today. Well, that's exciting.
You don't like what I got, take it up with Carl.
I think I'll take it up with Carl, mate. Minus 10 outside, so I'll just stay inside. Are you in America by any chance? I remember when I was in New York. Polar vortex. The kind of weather where when it was actually a cold day, but not as cold, people were like, oh, I can't wait until tomorrow. It's going to be 40 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And I searched up and it's like 20, and I'm like, bro, that's still cold, dude. What the fuck? You Celsius, you weirdo. I was in New York! They're all a bunch of weird bastards using bloody Fahrenheit, man! It was 20, it was basically 20 Celsius. They were celebrating the idea of 20 Celsius. Jesus Christ, did I really just get Phoenix renewed? What the fuck? Alright, here we... No? Man, I really thought that was the arena. I saw in my dream that you got Tower, but I didn't, unfortunately. Oh, let's not fuck it up. Let's not just jinx it that hard, mate.
He will close the distance shockingly fast when he creates duplicates. Look for the one that is armed.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, Gasty, Hao, and I, we're going for A. Savage, Shin, you guys go for B. Let's go.
Regalia in Pazul's eyes. They will open this gate even if their bearer is dead.
Jesus Christ, how are you so much faster than me? Alright, all good? Let's go. Oh, I see, you're actually using your operator. I wasn't. That explains a lot. Hey? Oh. Alright, let's go.
Was a mentor to me long ago. From him, I learned the wisdom of deception. Amar will prove a cunning opponent.
Bring out the boys. Har det? Wow. Nice. Rip it off.
Amar.
Alright, let's get out of here.
A hunter. Now, he is a mere trophy. Good job.
Fuck! Mainly my amalgam barrel diffusion for speed. Oh yeah. Oh well. Oh well. Well, indeed, yeah. Alright, I think that's gonna be it for me tonight. I'm, getting rather tired. Yeah. Let's call it a night. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you did, don't forget to follow, feel free to sub. If you're watching on YouTube now or in the future, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace.
I've been thinking, Operator. I thought you'd want to know.